Mr. Upvote here. Welcome to r/OffMyChest, where Reddit users vent their true stories. Let's go. Caught my boss cheating with his wife's best friend plus update. Our company was celebrating securing another 5-year contract with a massive client. We do these office parties quite often with every big achievement. It's our boss's way of appreciating our work, and bonuses are awarded to boost morale as the workload can get intense. Anyway, the party was well underway in our boss's house. Everyone was drunk, indulging in good food, and generally having a good time. Needing the bathroom, I excused myself and headed for the basement bathroom. Everyone always forgets it's there, so I knew it would be empty. I blame it on the alcohol or perhaps the loud music just above, but I didn't hear anything to give me warning of the horror of what I would witness until I stumbled into the unlocked bathroom and saw my boss's wife's best friend, also an employee of his, riding my boss as he sat on top of the toilet. I rushed out immediately after. I didn't even hesitate. I headed straight for the front door, walked for what felt like forever, then called myself and Uber home. This all happened last night, and I've just woken up with a killer hangover, bracing for the impact for the awkward encounter I'll have with my boss on Monday. Update: as many of you have suggested, I wrote a more detailed version of events within my email. I also scheduled a meeting with HR to get ahead of the issue. I had the meeting scheduled on Monday about an hour before people usually start coming in. We decided to keep the recording of the meeting informal and keep all the notes in my file simply because it wouldn't lead to an official investigation. The mistress and my boss are in two different departments. My boss isn't technically her direct boss, which means the dating rules between them are in a gray area. I don't really care about that anyway, as I was worried about my job security. After HR, the day began as usual. We attended a morning meeting, and during said meeting I noticed how often my boss would avoid eye contact with me. And every time I did look his way, which was often as he speaks the most, he always made it a point to look away from my side of the conference room. Fast forward to around lunchtime, a group of us had ordered in and would work through our lunch together. We do this work through lunch thing a couple of times a week. It's a time for us to bounce ideas off one another, check our progress on various projects, help out where it's needed, etc. It's usually reserved for employees with no senior members, although that's not a rule, it's just what we've always done, so it was strange for our boss to be there. Still, I carried on like nothing was wrong. Towards the end of the lunch, we had gotten to the topic of the party. Someone had asked me of my whereabouts at the end of the night, and at this point I knew the safest option would be to pretend to be too drunk. I even gave my boss a few compliments on the food they had prepared. Everyone around me bought the story with no issues, and I could only hope that my boss did too. Now on for Tuesday, when things returned to normal between my boss and I in the morning. I assumed he had believed my story from yesterday, only now I see he was merely playing a part. His mistress cornered me into the ladies' toilets. Before this incident, this woman used to be sweet, caring, and a bit of people pleaser. Now she was a vicious version of herself who was completely unrecognizable. She told me she didn't buy my story, which told me she and my boss had already discussed me. She told me I shouldn't even think of telling the wife because she wouldn't believe some employee over her husband and best friend. She threw in a few insults in between it all, then finished it by threatening the ending of my career by mentioning how she has my boss wrapped around her finger. She told me time and time again to keep quiet, otherwise things would get messy. Now this is the part that fills me with immense joy. To the Reddit user who sent me links to Amazon for spy recording gadgets, you, my friend, deserve the world. I had bought a pen ready just in case my boss didn't believe my story on Monday. Like many of you suggested, I should be recording all conversations. When he didn't pull me aside for a conversation, the small pen was forgotten on the inside top pocket of my shirt. The pen has no voice command and basically just records until you hit stop. And since I hit start the second I walked into the office, it recorded my entire day. So now I'm sitting here on a gold mine as the mistress just confessed to her crimes, then threatened me if I didn't comply. I'm currently brushing up my CV as my amazing boyfriend sifts through the recording to piece everything together. There probably won't be another update for a while, not until my plan comes together, so until then, Reddit. Oh boy, what a story. That woman is a complete moron for cornering the person who could ruin her career. I'm so happy that you have it all recorded, and I hope she gets everything coming to her. A lot of people will tell you to mind your own business, but after the way she threatened you, it's clear that she might have made your work life miserable if you didn't make the first move. Listeners, what are your thoughts on this situation? Would you have done the same?